Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have our friend here, Carissa Bynre, joining us. And she's here to talk more about the interior design work that she does, especially in the New Jersey area, but of course the tri state as well. The name of the company, CBH Interiors. And that's, of course, for your name, right, Carissa? Spelled
Yeah.
Carissa, and then it's Byrne, and then Hebert, it's Hebert, just in case you're
Yep.
wondering. So please
Thank
say
you.
hello and introduce yourself and your new highlights. Did you get highlights?
No, I'm just having a really good hair day
Ah,
today,
it looks
I
amazing.
think. Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. So please introduce yourself, sweetheart.
So yes, I'm Carissa. I'm an interior designer and the founder of CBH Interiors. CBH Interiors is a full service interior design firm specializing in home renovations. We focus on clients that are in the New Jersey, New York City area. One of the things that I'm going to talk about today is maximizing space because that's something that a lot of
Yep.
our clients need in urban areas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I want to invite everyone to check out my website, cbhinteriors.com. Check me out on Instagram, also at cbhinteriors.com. Yeah, and I'll let you take it away. Jill, thanks for having me today.
Oh, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. And what did you have in mind for us today? I've seen some of your beautiful work, and I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah, so today I want to talk about, explore multifunctional spaces in interior design and, how maximizing space by creating those multifunctional spaces. So
Perfect.
this is something that, it's a big trend in the last 2 years, and we're incorporating it into our design, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic. The way that we're using our homes has changed a lot. A lot of people are spending more time at home, working from home. People are, and in the urban areas, we have smaller spaces. So kind of just maximizing the way that you use the space. So it's just really using strategic planning and design of areas to serve multiple purposes and accommodate various activities. So instead of, segregating rooms to specific functions, it allows us to design so that we optimize the space and enhance flexibility. The spaces can adapt and transform to meet the changing needs of the, people living or using in the space. So we've seen, a lot of the drivers, the changes that have happened since the COVID-19 pandemic is that,
Mm-hmm.
the evolving work culture, the rise of remote work, making people kind of having to work from home, which is great, but it means that you kind of have to change your the use of your space. So allowing like flexible work arrangements, and allowing for seamless transitions between work and leisure. Whether that's creating screens to section off your home office during the day and then maybe hide it away at the end of the day so there's a clear delineation between the work day and
Mm-hmm.
the home. There's also growing interest in sustainable living, which means spaces that are optimizing energy, aligning with principles of like eco-friendly design. And so that kind of means that people are trying not to, over design and you know, overuse of construction. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of more adaptable spaces and reusing spaces and things of that nature. Um, so, just to kind of talk about some examples of projects that I've worked on where we've kind of incorporated these principles in a particular apartment. We ended up like incorporating a Murphy bed, which is one of those beds that kind of is
Goes into the wall, right?
yeah, exactly. So during the day it's hidden and it can be like a beautiful living space, and then at night you can pull your bed down and have it be your bedroom as well. Also integrating storage solutions into built-ins, cabinets, because that's a big issue, is storage, in this area with, small, very expensive real estate, and, real estate being very, important. Every inch counts. So we like to have like sneaky storage solutions, in built-ins and furniture. Also, one of the things that we do sometimes is like um, having like a table that kind of folds up into the wall or down into the wall so that when you're not eating at the table, it's not kind of taking up space, or that can also work as a desk. Um, we've also like incorporated panels that allow, rooms to be separated off when they're, so it can be an open floor plan. And then during, if there is like a, kind of like a bed situation for a guest, you can close those off and, have some separation.
Don't they even have, did you show me or where did I hear about this? They even have like for smaller spaces, those collapsible steps.
Oh, yeah, I haven't actually used that, but I know what you're
I've
talking
seen
about.
that. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you're dealing with small spaces, right? So they have
Yeah.
like actually collapsible steps, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that was one thing I was going to mention is like utilizing height. So, if you do have a lot of height, you could actually create a loft space and then have something like that, like those collapsible stairs so that you can access it without actually losing floor space downstairs. It's a great idea.
Did you have any pictures to share with us today?
I do actually. Yeah, I can share my screen and kind
Awesome.
of show you some things.
Not to put you on the spot, not that you have to, but it was so helpful last time. I loved seeing everything.
Yeah, so just to kind of uh, show you like some, divider
Wow.
screens is a great way to kind of divide the space, but not permanently, so if you're, maybe your family's growing and you have a new baby, but you're not ready to move, this is a great option to kind of section off a little baby area, a little nursery space, or, you're working from home and you just need a little space cut, carved out of your living room or your bedroom. Screens is a great option. Also for a
And
client of
much
mine,
cheaper than a door. Because in New York
oh,
City and stuff, like,
mhm.
don't you, people put up, they're not, it's a real wall, so it's structurally not, but they still hire someone to put up like all that. It's like a fake wall. What do you call it?
Like a partition. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like this option better. And it's cheaper, more affordable, I would
Oh,
assume.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And it's flexible, it moves around. Also I have a client who has, they have three girls and two of the girls share a bedroom, and they were starting to kind of get to that age where they were, starting to just need their own space. They were starting to just disagree and they just kind of needed like to get away. And so we
Mm-hmm.
actually installed, a piece of furniture that divided the room, and that made a huge difference so that
Yeah.
the girls could kind of have their own space, but yet still be in the same room. And, the clients didn't have to, redo their whole home for the daughters. And this is like a different version of a Murphy bed that's kind of tucked into this little cabinet here.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is an office that converts into a guest room, which a lot of people are using nowadays, if you have the space. Um, and the great part about this is it looks really beautiful when it's tucked away. It looks like a beautiful built-in when it's not in use. So, and this can be incorporated into an office, a
That's
bedroom, a
so
living room.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then talking more about offices because that just seems to be the real need right now. Even,
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs a dedicated like work area, it seems. So just kind of making it beautiful, whether it's, integrating into your living room space, um, so that when you're not working, it doesn't look, it's not an eyesore. It actually is part of the design and the decor. This one just over here, the wood desk, it just kind of really, is um, it's always there. It doesn't go away, but it
Mm-hmm.
still looks beautiful in the space and flows with the design.
Wow. Amazing work. My goodness. And I love those windows too.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm noticing trends in my neighborhood. People are not putting any, again, I don't know the terminology, but the lines, lattices in the window at all. I like the lattice. I don't like the full open look, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a preference, right? Like it's a very modern look without the mullions in the windows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I like it either way, but I understand the preference for one or the other.
Yeah.
And then another, thing that we've seen, especially, like during COVID, we learned that we can really utilize the outdoor space, right? So seeing like living spaces kind of um, just slowly creep into the outdoor space, right? So your living room kind of, if we're seeing designs where and we're doing some of this in our spaces too, where we're opening up the wall so that there can be big
Yeah.
glass doors that open up into the outside space, so that the living room becomes a part of the outdoor room as well,
Mm-hmm.
and allowing it to just be an extension of the home. So all of a sudden you gain like all the square footage that you didn't have before, because you're able to utilize it. And people are even incorporating heaters outside, which I'm sure you see out there on Long Island a lot.
Yep.
um, People are able to hang out outside during even the cooler months. um, so that's an interesting, in the outdoor dining, outdoor theaters, all kinds of interesting ways to use the space. That's all the images that I have for today. But
Beautiful. I like those stepping stone pavers. Is that what that is? They're like,
yeah.
that seems to be the trend. A lot of people doing like astroturf in between, right? So you don't get weeds.
Yeah, I mean, but believe it or not, you can still get weeds in astroturf.
Oh, thank you for telling me. Seriously?
Yeah, because there's still earth underneath it.
Oh
It still
gosh.
has to be maintained, but it's much easier than grass.
Yeah, all right. Cement down and then astroturf maybe. But no, even cement, because you
Yeah,
know what? No. Because
yeah,
my pavers in my yard are built on like a thick thing of cement. Pavers go on top. There's some like grout stuff, but you know what? I still get weeds growing through them.
yeah.
I
They're
guess
just
the weed
everywhere.
seeds blow and kind of, that's just obnoxious. But this is beautiful. Oh my God, look at outside wooden table like that too. And where is this exactly?
So these are not actually my projects. These are some inspiration imagery.
It
So
looks
these are
like,
from
I was gonna say it looks like California.
yeah. These are both in the West Coast. Yeah.
Amazing. And the string lights seem to be a very popular theme. The dark doors as well.
Hmm.
And what do you call that? The brick with all the cement on it, like it's the facing of the brick. Like what are people are doing now, making the bricks like whiter. What do you whitewash or what is that
Oh
called?
yeah, whitewashing. Yeah,
Oh, that's so pretty. I'm a big
yeah,
fan of that. Inside like New York City, like industrial buildings and stuff. My friend used to have a huge place like that. It was all kind of copper irony and it just had like that type of rustic look to it. I love it.
yeah. So just kind of that's what the interior design expertise brings to the table, right? Like we're able to help you kind of visualize space in the way that maybe you wouldn't on your own, and kind of just maximize the way that you live. So I wanted to share that with you. And did you have any questions about anything that I was, talking about?
No, I just love your work. I'm a fan of it. I just need to know
Thank you.
like the process, right? Because it's got to
Mhm.
be it's a stressful project. I've been trying to do my pool, right? And all the different people you have to reach out to make everything work, right? Because if you're doing the interior design,
Mhm.
someone might be doing the windows, right? Or someone might be doing the floors, right? I mean, now you have it's
Yeah.
like is it one-stop shop though? You also have contractors to do all these parts of the work because it makes it easier than shopping into different places, right?
Yeah, so I have contractors that I work with, so they're not directly under me. So the clients go into contract with them directly, but what I do is a big part of my job is managing the entire project. So that's what the term full service design really means. It means,
Got it.
I'm
Thank
kind of
you for explaining that. Yep.
yeah, yeah, which is a big part of, the headache of those renovation and design projects, is just, managing all the people and all the components, just like you're saying, because there's so many parts and pieces that go into the project, right? There's, the contractor who's actually doing the work, and then there's the tile person who's installing the tile. There's, the bathroom person that you're ordering the
Yeah.
vanity from, the place, that you're everything, ordering the furniture, the window treatments, and then making sure
Oh,
all those align to get
we have a
installed at the
call.
same
Hold
time.
on.
Oh, cool.
Hi, welcome to the show. You're live on the line. Who's this? Hello. Hello. You're live on the line with Carissa. Anyone there? Hello.
Maybe they got nervous.
I know. I call back if you can.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's okay. Perfect. All right, here we go. All right, anyway, hold on. I guess I'll repeat the number if you guys want to call. It's the new line. It's 631 205 6593 201 3 631 205 6593. Please give us a call back. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to answer any questions if people want to call in, or they can also, check me out on my website, cbhinteriors.com. Reach out to me that way or on Instagram. I'd love to chat with anybody about, anything that we've talked about or things that we haven't talked about. Um, excuse me. So next week, I think I want to talk about kind of like my mission and, um, what drives me to do what I do. And I'd be open to, Q&A session at that point too, if people have questions.
And let me ask you now, we still have what? Oh my gosh, 8 minutes left. So the work you're doing currently now, what happens in this season? This is your summer season, right? Could you
Mhm.
share some details? Is it slower, busier in the summer? What any types of products you have?
It does get a little slower during the summer just because people are traveling.
Oh,
But I do still have some projects going on. Because it's still people still need, have needs for the end of the year. Because when the design process takes time, so people call me, and then once we decide, we agree on the project and the scope of work and all that. It usually takes, anywhere from 1 to 3 months to finalize the design before we even start placing orders and beginning any kind of renovation or construction. So, we need to kind of plan for that. So I usually say to give at least 6 months. Sometimes if it's a bigger renovation, then 12 months, could take. So, right now I'm working on a project in Weehawken, New Jersey. I'm helping a client. She's been in this space for a while, and she's just not happy with it. She just, needs to kind of make it her own. And a lot of people are afraid to invest in pieces if they don't know what they don't have a vision in mind. So that's when I come in and I help them visualize the space, what's going to work for them, functionally as well as, aesthetically, and kind of just make all the pieces fit.
and now, let me ask, you've been doing this for how many years?
I've been doing this for 14 years now,
See, you
which is
don't look old
wild.
enough to be doing it, but no, that's amazing, right? And
Yeah.
how does it work for you personally as a designer, like in your own space? Don't you want to change things around and paint differently, put up different pictures and artwork? When do people normally want to refresh or change things up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, in my home, I'm always wanting to change things. It's just like, you know, um, I don't let myself do it as much as I want to. But people usually want to, change things up like every 5 to 10 years. It depends, I think that I like to say that, good design should last you 10 years. I mean, without wanting to kind of make a huge change, especially when it comes to like, kitchens and bathrooms. Those should last 10 to 20 years without, feeling outdated or not function for you. But, a living space, a bedroom, 5 years, 5 to 10 years is typical.
Good. Well, yeah, because that's the other thing that I always you see such beautiful things and the magazines come to the home and it's like, I want this, I want that. There's only so much people could do, right? Unless
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
and do you have a specific passion for a certain room of the house? Are you into more kitchens, more bathrooms, overall design? Like what do you see yourself? Like do you have a passion or a favorite, shall I say?
Um, I don't really actually. I kind of just love the whole home. My favorite projects are, taking on an entire, home for a family or an individual because I just, I have total control over how everything kind of ties together and how it all works and functions. And I love it when, there's little things that tie spaces together. Whether you're in a living room and you see, you know, a certain textile or material, and then you see it again in the bedroom, kind of just tying all those spaces together. That's what I really love.
Yay, yay. And if you're just tuning in, remind us how we can reach you, Carissa.
Yeah, check out my website, cbhinteriors.com. You can email me at Carissa, Carissa, at cbhinteriors.com. Also check me out on Instagram at cbhinteriors. Or you can call me directly, 201-832-5515. And I'd love to talk to anyone about, working together, any questions you might have about interiors. I do offer a complimentary 15-minute consult, via phone or Zoom. So if people want to just chat, I'm happy to do that.
Awesome. And lighting fixtures, electrical, you do everything from start to finish.
Yes. Yep. I have everything from laying out spaces, to drawing construction documents, working with architects, builders, selecting, appliances, cabinets, lighting, window treatments, all of it, furniture. So I can help
Perfect.
you with it all.
Well, thank you for being here and looking forward to the next time we connect. Carissa, have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully the weather keeps up for us, right? A lot of
You too.
thunderstorms these days and
Yeah.
issues, but hopefully it'll be a beautiful week. Happy 4th to you if we don't speak, right? That's next week.
Yeah.
Not
Thank
sure how it
you.
works with our schedule, but enjoy your holiday weekend, okay?
You too. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.